Now we want to extend the graph into the third and fourth quadrants, and there's actually a very simple way to do that. Let's just consider this point on the graph, corresponding to this first quadrant point. This point on the circle, which corresponds to this first quadrant point on the graph. If we were to subdivide this right angle, we would get angles that mimic these angles. We would get lines that simply extend the lines that we've used to bisect our angles. So in particular, the line for this point would extend. And let's see if I can do a halfway decent job of that. This chalk doesn't have a good point on it. Okay, that should work. Okay, so now I've extended. Well, I haven't done a really good job of it, but I've extended this line, giving us a point down here. Now, this point on the circle corresponds to this point on our graph. If I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 points to here, well, that would give us a point over here that corresponds to 1/4 of this distance. And that could obviously be constructed with compass and straight edge, probably no more accurately than I estimated it by my eye, but there are going to be inaccuracies either way. Okay, well, I could project this point all the way over here, and hopefully do a better job of it than I appear to be doing. And if I did, and if the construction is perfectly accurate, again, I'm going to leave it to you to think about how to prove this. But the coordinate that I get for this point, the y-coordinate, or the vertical coordinate of this point, the vertical position that would be projected over here, is going to be the same as this, only upside down. So this point will reflect to a point that's about here. I'll mark that lightly. And similarly, this point up here is going to reflect to a point that's an equal distance below this point, somewhere along here. And the question is, how can we best, what are our options for actually constructing the coordinates of this point, these points? One option, obviously, is to subdivide everything here and project as we've done. But maybe just using the points on this graph, what's the most efficient way in which we could get these points? Okay, so you might want to think about that, and we'll continue that in a minute.